PennyLys podcast. Tuba. Welcome to the PennyLys podcast. Tuba.
Welcome to the PennyLys podcast. This is episode 9, I think we're up to, but we've recorded some others in between as well as surprises for later, which I don't want to give away the surprise just yet. So I'm hoping it is episode 9. Is this it? I don't even know.
Well, I don't
Does it
know,
matter?
and I didn't know that the other ones were a surprise, but now I know.
Do numbers matter? Do numbers matter? That's the question for the day.
Well, let's throw it over to our guest.
Let's go see Sesame Street, where I think numbers do matter. They really do. Because they make a whole segment for numbers, don't they?
Every day.
The number of the day. Anyway, we do have a special guest today, and I have an introduction for you. Ready for this? Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. Miner driver, crazy farmer, reader planner, attentive father, biggest fan of the show, and didn't know, Nick Dow. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Did you
Welcome.
enjoy your introduction there?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Can I put that on my resume?
100%. It will
Yeah.
help you get
Kinda
into
like,
every role.
Movie review
Yeah.
Yeah.
where you have this person said this.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
they've got us as a reference, you know.
Job
just-
instantly.
Yeah.
Job instantly.
Oh, wait, you know them?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's like when you talk about people you know that are famous, like name dropping
drop.
and
Name
stuff.
drop.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's,
don't think this is like name dropping.
this is exactly name dropping. Anyway, yeah.
Some
so,
might say putting your name on their resume could be a curse.
which brings us to today's topics. We've got a few things we're going to go through today. So we're going to go through some updates of last week, which were some of the ghost stories, and we put out the question on Instagram and got a couple of stories. So I'll share probably one, maybe, or two from that. And we're also going to go down do the random questions with Nick, get to know him a bit better, game time, and then go into cursors. Not
no,
curses.
not curses.
Like,
Not
Not
like
like-
mouse cursor on the screen.
No. Curses.
Curses.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about a couple of
just
them.
quickly, on curses, can you still change them on the computer? Like, you know, the arrow, how you
used to be able to make
change
it
them
something
into
else.
whatever you wanted?
Yeah, I've not done that in quite some time.
Me neither.
Tomorrow, first thing.
Yeah, straight to work. You're going to have
Straight after this, I wouldn't even wait.
the big hand.
Yeah.
Wasn't there
And when you
one?
click and it goes bigger when it clicks.
Yeah.
I want the one that, like, as you moved around, it had a tail.
Yeah,
I
it was
want
like a
that
snake.
one. Yeah,
I do
I
remember
want
the
that.
one that was a snake.
Do
So
you,
that
do you
one.
reckon they've progressed since those days? And now they've got like rainbow trails and stuff like that?
I think they're like, no one even looks at this anymore. We'll just leave the ones that are still there.
How random would it be? Like, that is something that you customize for your work. Like, you set up your screens.
Yeah.
You set up all your files. Your volume.
You get your headset plugged in, and then
Something
you change
you
your
have to
cursor.
Something you have to declare when you enter a new country
Yeah.
with your passport. What's
your default
cursor?
Oh my God. All right. Well, I thought I usually go off on tangents, but Nick, you're bringing it up, which is great. So a couple of things we're going to go through, and we put it out on Instagram as well. What should we talk about? And a couple that we've already looked into with the Tutankhamun thing, which just sort of said, hey, I want to hear about Tutt. And that's what she said. I want to hear about Tutt. We're going to go through the Hope Diamond because that is really interesting. And I actually spent too much time probably before this going through that.
Yeah.
And then Voodoo Dolls.
Yeah.
Voodoo Dolls was actually Shani sent through that one. She wants to know about Voodoo Dolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll just put it out there. Whilst you were doing your intensive research, we were playing drinking games.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
listen, Nick, are primed and ready to go. And
Yeah.
I have been spending the time with, knowledging myself.
So
Is that
take
what
it
you'd say?
away.
Knowledging yourself?
No, it sounds dirty.
Does sound dirty.
What did you do? I acknowledged myself. Doesn't sound
This
right.
is a good start to
It
the
doesn't
podcast.
sound right.
Okay.
But before we get into all of that, we actually need to ask some questions.
Yeah.
Because I know Nick,
Yeah,
but a lot of other people may not know Nick.
exactly. And that's the reason we bring out your green box full of questions.
Yeah.
I see you looked over your green box and was like, it's too far away.
It is too far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I was over at the table
listening.
and the green box was here.
Okay.
Doesn't currently hold the questions.
Okay.
How does glittery phones?
Lys's glittery phone.
Is it equally as good?
I don't know if it has the same ring, but we'll go with it.
Okay.
Can I ask a question first?
Of course.
Okay, so I put in your intro that you're our biggest fan. Obviously, my mum's probably my biggest fan, but you may not know that you're our biggest fan. You've watched our episodes from the first season all the way through, and probably multiple times from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask the question: how would you describe the show to someone who hasn't watched the show?
So I've thought about that. Like people have asked me what I listen to and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've recommended your podcast several times,
Well, isn't that nice?
but I
is
have
nice.
no idea how I recommend it.
Okay.
I don't know if they follow it up and listen to it.
Okay.
So you don't know how
hope so.
successful
No,
it
I
is?
don't. No, power of persuasion is not something I am great with, but I would hope that a few people would listen to it. I think it would be just the fact that you could just be talking about anything and it would make me laugh.
Yeah. Okay.
And the fact that I listen to it at work on night shift and 2 o'clock in the morning and
And it keeps
just
you
out
up.
of nowhere, it'll just make me laugh.
Ah, that's good.
Even
That
if
is
it's just
good.
you talking about nothing.
Which is generally what we
Yeah,
do.
It
most of
is.
the time.
And it's so funny because when people say, "What's your podcast about?" Oh, we just talk a lot of crap, but it's funny. It's general.
Yeah.
We say the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we don't really. I don't know. We just. What's it about? Funny stuff. It doesn't really
Things.
matter. It changes, but it's funny.
But like, then it's hard because you say funny stuff, but then you're like, yeah, we're talking about conspiracy theories and curses, which traditionally are not funny, and ghost stories. Traditionally not funny.
No.
Well,
I
even
know.
last season with the
Survivor.
and the
Survival.
zombie apocalypse
Yeah.
and all that sort of
not,
stuff. And
not comedy
it's a
podcast
comedy.
gold.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I really struggle when people say, oh, what's your podcast about? And I think that's going to be a question that I'll probably ask a lot of people that come onto the show now,
Yeah.
just to see if we can try and figure out what it is, like
Yeah.
condense it. So I've got like a 10-second thing of saying, this is what the podcast's about. If you guys watching have an idea of how you would describe this to someone,
Maybe that's
Without
even
saying
been
it's a
successful.
without saying a complete mess. Sorry.
If you've even recommended it and it's been successful and they've watched it, like what did you say to them? Tell us that.
Send us a message on Instagram or put it on this the YouTube comments. 100%.
well, maybe next week at work I'll ask some of the people that I've recommended it to
Yeah.
and see if they've
See if they've listened.
and
Yeah, great.
And
I'd
if
love
the
that.
answer's no, then
It-
I'll probably let you know.
No one cares. Awesome. All right. So what questions have you got, Liz?
Yeah, I went with just random questions. I mean, I really could have tailored this to you, given how well
but
I know
random
you.
questions are so good, though.
I know. So let's just start with a nice, easy one. Which movie character would you want to have an epic battle with?
Battle with
Yeah, any movie character.
probably someone that's easy to defeat, I guess. I mean, it'd be epic for me.
Just demolish someone. Who would you like that to be? Because it can't be too easy. It can't
It's like
be
Tom
like
and Jerry or something. It's a
It can't
cat.
be
I've
like-
dealt with it.
It can't be like SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm just taking care of him. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Or maybe someone from like Arcane, like the animated show Arcane.
Okay.
Someone like that,
Okay.
because those fight scenes are always pretty cool.
Pretty cool. So
Okay.
would you picture yourself in one of those fight scenes, and what
Oh,
weapons
no,
would you have
not
in
at
it?
all. Some sort of sword, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a really big one.
Yeah, like Cloud's sword from Final Fantasy, something
Oh my
like that.
god!
Okay.
So Cloud Sword, for everyone that's wondering, is one of those ridiculously big swords. From those people who used to watch me on Twitch, I never liked the huge swords. So Flesh would be here having a good giggle at this comment. So Cloud looks like a big meat cleaver, but stretched, elongated, really long. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably the
Something like
best way
that.
to.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Cool.
Way bigger
Well,
than
actually,
the character.
all those discs, Axel from Kingdom Hearts, how you had those discs?
Oh, I barely remember.
Like discus.
No, they were the really big round
Like
discs
records.
that. Yeah, even records would be a pretty cool weapon. Now that I think about
Like
it.
Shaun of the
Like
Dead.
Shaun of the Dead, yeah.
So good.
That'd be a pretty epic battle if you could win with records.
That's so good. The most
I think-
ridiculous weapon in that Shaun of the Dead thing. Just throwing them things and just sticking in there and stuff.
I think like the cool thing is you could pick whatever you wanted, and like if you like this is what I'm gonna have, and it's gonna be an epic battle. Like I mean, think about you wouldn't normally think a deck of cards is
Yeah.
going to be a battle, but like it obviously has happened in Marvel Universe.
A deck of cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry. It was
What's the-
Wolverine.
Yeah.
X-Men Origins Wolverine or something like
Yeah.
that.
The guy
yeah.
who lights the cards on fire.
Yeah, Gambit.
Yeah,
Gambit, yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. What's
Yeah.
your next question you got? Have you got one for me?
No, your question. Yeah, do you remember it?
No. You're supposed to send it to me. This is the fun of Liz playing drinking games before the podcast. She just shows me a question for like 5 seconds and is like, you can ask this question and this question.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go with another question then.
You gotta send me it or
Maybe I'll send it to you
well.
telepathically, and then you'll know.
I'll
what
see
it
if I
is.
get it.
Is it
No.
about trampolines?
No. No, I will send it to you verbally,
Oh, okay. Not telepathly.
not telepathically.
I thought I
no.
was picking up on something.
I'd
That
prefer
would-
it verbally because, you know, we're recording this as a podcast.
Sure.
Oh, so entertaining. You're doing the whole Professor X thing.
Is it though? It'd be cool to see.
Okay.
People might say that it's cut though.
Yeah,
Maybe.
totally.
Look
They-
at your phone.
Okay, cool. I got the phone. All right. If you
Yeah.
woke up
You
to
can
be
cut that, right?
yeah, if you woke up to be the last person alive on Earth, what would you do first?
What do I do first?
Last person alive. What would you do first? First thing.
Like, first thing after I wake up?
No, first thing you'd notice that you're the last person around. Like TV's not on. You're outside. The people that are usually around are not there.
So once you've realised that there's no one
okay.
here,
Not like I've just woken up outside.
like what do you do?
It's a tough one.
It is. Are you thinking
Probably
about what
stuff
you would do?
that I'd want to do that I just don't have time to do, or like, you know, that I've got to go to work. So
Yeah.
I don't
Are
have
you
time
talking
to do
about
this.
like mowing your lawn or
No,
something?
no, just medial stuff, like just going and playing golf or going fishing and
You know,
Yeah.
you'd want to get golf done earlier, right?
in the
While
day,
well,
like
no,
early in the day. and
Yeah,
then-
While
because
the
you don't want to
course
get sunburnt.
No, 'cause you got to get home and you got to mow the lawn. in
no. While the
afternoon.
courses are still well looked after, if you're the last person and you're not
that's
going to look
true.
after them,
I used to be a greenskeeper.
yeah. But do you want to? Is that how you want to spend your time?
Beats mowing my lawn.
Yeah.
Although I guess if
out
I'm
of
the
all
last
the things
person
I
on
could
earth,
do,
it is my lawn.
Yeah.
It's all my lawn.
Okay, so you're gonna go play around a golf.
Yeah, or just stuff that I want to do that, but I've either got to go to work or I've got housework to do.
So
or-
just like binge a TV show.
well, if my house gets messy, I've got nobody coming over.
No,
If my grass gets long, I don't have to mow it.
it's true. You just go to a new house.
Yeah, go to a new house. Or,
Yeah, that's fair. I always think of Home Alone when
Yeah.
I think of that, the whole montage of he just figures out he's gotten rid of his parents and stuff. And
Just
he
like running through the
jumps
house
on the
and
bed, yelling, tries aftershave for the first time. Yeah.
but you wouldn't have to do. There's lots of things you wouldn't have to worry about doing if you're the only person around.
Yeah, it's true.
Stuff
But-
that people do just to keep up appearances or like
What do you do to keep up appearances?
get dressed in the morning. You know what I mean? You could just, yeah. No, I didn't say naked. But you could just stay in whatever your pajamas, or you
Yeah.
could just go out and go to the shop. You wouldn't have to wear shoes ever.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
okay. Yeah, I was thinking if you got naked and you're trying to do, I don't know, running around through the bush, you might get a little bit upset.
So if you were the last person on Earth, day one, you'd revert back to caveman, no clothes.
Just wear my tidy whities everywhere, I think.
yeah.
Tidy whities and Nikes.
you'd want to protect your feet in
Yeah.
case something happens.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's no doctors.
Oh, okay.
No,
What a question. Okay, I have another question for you.
Okay.
If rainbows could talk, what would they sound like?
What is this question?
I think they'd probably be like, just yelling, because you know how there's always
Yeah.
like the picture of the person sliding down the ramp. I think it'd be like that,
Okay, great.
maybe.
Have
along
you
those
seen?
lines.
Have you seen the challenge? I think I've sent it to you. The challenge where someone sounds like a train and everyone's trying to copy them. The
No.
train horn.
No.
And I'm pretty sure it's a.
That wasn't a train. That was just two rainbows saying hi, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the real basic. I think it's fake, the first one, and then everyone's trying to sound like this train horn going ha ha, and it just sounds like the most ridiculous thing. Anyway, if you can find it on Instagram, it's worth it. I'll share it to you if you ask me. Anyway, next question. I have what Guinness Book of World Record would you like to try and beat?
Now,
What Guinness World Record?
I was going to say like the 2013 one.
You just like to beat it, and that's
So-
by reading from front to finish. I beat you.
so, Nick, I thought this was a good question for you because you have quite the collection of the Guinness World Record books.
I do.
So I figured if there was anyone to ask this random question to, you would be the best person to ask.
So I think I need to add some books to the total of books that I haven't read.
Some of them are
I've read some of them. I don't read them cover to cover,
okay.
just
So
to
you
find
haven't
out what's
beaten the
changed
book?
and keep up with the gossip for the year. But
There's like coffee table random.
and
books.
are we talking one that I'd want to try to beat, like
Yeah.
now, or
Yeah.
if
No,
I
no.
could beat it?
Oh, you
Oh,
could
if-
work up to it.
Yeah,
you could pick
work
it and
up.
work up to it.
You
That'd
can
be
do
fine.
anything, mate.
If you're the last person
can
on
do
earth,
it.
you can do whatever you want.
I would argue that if I'm the last person on earth, I hold all the records. Nobody can jump further than me or stack more cards in a house of cards than me. Like,
Whatever keeps your
nobody's-
morale up. you know?
nobody's going to dispute that. So I'd probably publish my own book of records.
Well, no one can validate.
I don't know if anybody would read it. But
No one would read it.
I would.
I am the greatest.
Yep.
Okay, so what would you try and beat?
It'd probably be something.
What skills do you have? Like, what's the cool?
It probably, if I had the chance, it'd probably be something to do with running,
Oh yeah.
like record breaking for running or
Yep.
something like that. I don't run as much as I used to,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay.
But
So running the furthest, running
no,
the
probably
quickest.
like a speed-based thing.
Oh yeah.
So you're
Like a
trying to
short
be
distance.
Usain Bolt, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
You could do that.
Probably
Yeah,
start
great.
with like more average goal than that.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Work up to it maybe.
Yeah, 100%. That's how goals work, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I look forward to hearing about how your running related
Oh no, it's
Guinness World Record goal
Go on.
breaking is happening.
It's good. Have you got any more questions?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on ketchup being a smoothie?
ketchup.
These are the questions you get when
If,
someone's
like,
playing
If
drinking
it's
games.
homemade ketchup,
Yeah.
then it would probably depend on the consistency, like how
Okay.
thick you make it.
But smoothies can be thick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's thicker, it'll be a smoothie.
And if it's thin,
It's probably more likely either a drink or
it's a
like a
drink.
condiment, maybe.
Okay.
This is like me the other day when I was eating natural yogurt, and I'm used to like vanilla yogurt or something like that with
Like
something
flavoured.
with fruit in it or
Yeah.
flavored. And I was like, I got this natural yogurt, and I tasted it, and
Was it
it
really
was-
good?
It was interesting.
It's basically a
It was.
sauce.
I'm going to explain it as like something salty. Like I'm explaining to people that have never had this before. Obviously, people have had this before, but I was like, it's like I'm eating a condiment. Like I'm
He's
eating.
like, he said,
This
this
go-
would look good on a gyros.
Yeah, this would go well with some type of meat, maybe lamb.
If I had some mint and some lamb, this would be great.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
last night I was eating some sweet potato chips and they said, "Oh, do you want any sauce?" I said, "Yeah, aioli's fine."
Yeah.
And they put it on there with a spoon.
Okay.
And I've looked at it, I'm thinking, this looks like coleslaw. There was large chunks of cabbage in the aioli.
In their aioli.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Wow.
that.
Yeah, there was
before.
like spring onions and stuff in there, which I'd be okay with having in aioli,
But not
I was
cabbage.
very surprised by the cabbage.
Wow.
Ugh.
they're bulking out their food to make it go further.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
We should have brought that up on Tabitha's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't eaten
You hadn't eaten.
the coleslaw by then.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back in time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like we've gotten to know Nick pretty well from those questions.
I think so.
Nailed
Nailed it.
And if there's other questions you want to know about Nick, put them in the comments. But otherwise, let's do a couple of updates from the other podcast. We talked about ghost stories.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to hear the story that I got?
Yes.
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 What if we're both like, nah?
I didn't actually ask whether I could share the name of who shared this.
Just
so
tell
I'll
to
just
us
call them.
telepathically.
I'll call them Sally, and they're gonna hate that. So,
Because
okay.
their name's Sally.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, I didn't tell you could say that. Anyway, so do you believe? You know how we were talking about like children having like. More open to seeing ghosts or more connected with their previous lives kind of thing?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so this person was pregnant. She doesn't usually see ghosts, but she was pregnant at the time and she was seeing a lot of ghosts while she was pregnant.
Wow.
So she was seeing ghosts on her property of old relatives. And then she had a really freaky incident where she was driving to one of her family members' houses. So she was driving and a bloody person walked onto the road and she screamed to a halt and slightly hit them and they walked off and she freaked out and just kept going.
That's called a hit and run.
Yeah. I could be saying parts of this wrong. Hold up. Anyway, so I think the idea was it wasn't, she didn't hit him, but she slowed down and it looked bloody. She got scared and left, touched the bonnet of the car and then she went off. So it's not like she hit him or whatever. She went to the family member's house and they were like all freaked out and being like, what's going on? And they drove back to where it was. Nothing was found there. They went into another car to actually go to have a look and then they came back. Before they left, she had checked her car and there was blood on the bonnet. She went back with the guys to have a look. There was nothing there.
Make sure
They
there's no
came
evidence.
back, no blood on the car, and no one out there.
So this
So
is while she was
creepy.
pregnant?
This is while she was pregnant.
Could she have had that?
The other people, family members, saw the blood on the car as well.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was going to say, could she have had that, the pregnancy diabetes with the...
Hallucination.
Like she could have been seeing
Hallucination.
things from having very low blood sugar.
Baby brain, maybe. I don't want to judge on that because I'll get crucified.
Yeah, wow.
But so she said that
so
the other family members saw the blood on the car
Okay.
and stuff like that as well.
Do you channel things because you have a being inside of you that you're growing?
Who's more connected with
Yeah.
their previous life and ghosts and
Interesting.
the spiritual stuff.
I hadn't thought about that before.
Pretty freaky.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's really,
freaky.
yeah.
So there were a couple of other bits and pieces stories, just like, I have some in my house. I've had plates being thrown on the ground out of nowhere, like literally the doors opened and the plate fell off and into the ground. And some random stories like that came through. So thank you very much for those who shared. If you do have more stories like that, I'm more than happy to hear them because I love ghost stories. But yeah, that's our updates from last week.
Wow. And you did a poll.
I did a poll, yeah, and 100% everyone believes that ghosts are real. So there's irrefutable evidence that ghosts are real. What do you reckon?
Done and dusted.
99%.
99%? You obviously didn't get on that poll.
No.
What do you reckon, Nick?
No.
You don't think ghosts are
It's
real?
not for me. Sorry.
Oh, it's not for you.
It's
It's
not
not
for
for me either.
It's not for me.
But it doesn't mean that they're not real.
No, I'm not saying that they're absolutely not real. I don't buy into it.
You don't buy
That's
into it?
okay.
You haven't had an experience?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
cool.
but if I did, I probably would believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Come back
Yeah.
to us in the future at some point.
Yeah.
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 I just
That's
call you
fine.
up one night and say, hey, I've
Hey,
just seen
it's
a
happened.
ghost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's
Put me
like
down
that's how
for
it
a
happens.
yes.
Change that 99 to a 100.
Can you bring that Instagram poll back up? I need to vote again.
I'd have to actually get Instagram
Oh,
Go
yeah.
on.
Well, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. that would make
when
sense.
you're always like, oh, go on Instagram, we put this up with that. I was like, oh, well, I'm missing out.
Well,
Oh, sadness.
we've got you in our YouTube comments anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
YouTube comments. So
Perfect.
we got people covered. You know?
Yeah.
I think everyone goes onto YouTube, don't they?
They would have to watch the podcast.
No. Like, everyone in the world would go onto YouTube, I reckon.
No. Do you reckon Nana and Grandad would go on YouTube?
I don't think so.
I don't
What
think
if
so
they
either.
need to know how to
Maybe
do
99%
something?
of people.
Okay, 99.
It's hard to say 100%.
It
It's
is.
just the place to go for like, how do you do this?
For our generation, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
but
for
it-
prior generations. You go, oh, I want to replace my toilet. I'll call a plumber. But you go, I'll go on YouTube.
I can do this myself.
You did replace the toilet
I
just
was
by
so
watching.
proud of myself.
Just by watching a YouTube video. I was impressed that you did it. I was panicking and you did it by watching YouTube and you absolutely nailed it. You did a brilliant job.
and I
just
laid
don't-
the floor.
You did. But I just don't think
I'm a real
that's
hero.
how everyone runs their lives.
Did you
Okay.
just say you laid on
Yeah.
the floor?
No, I laid a new floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say you installed a new toilet and then you're so proud of yourself. You had a little nap on the floor.
I mean, that probably happened
Yeah,
as well.
probably did.
Well, that happens all the time with me. Like, I'll mow the yard or I'll clean the garage or something. I just think, I'll just have a bit of a nap now.
Congratulations. Tap on the back. Let's
job.
have a nap. All right, guys, let's move on to game time.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into down the rabbit hole. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Game time! Game time! Game time!
Game time.
Yeah, it's game time.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I want to win back our title. Last week, I'm not sure if everyone has watched the podcast yet, but we didn't do so well.
We didn't win. I really got stuck not knowing what the word sofa is.
We had troubles.
We had
had
troubles.
some real troubles.
Yeah, and you know what? That happens sometimes.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I feel like if we're gonna be the champions, we need to really step up our game, though.
Yeah, I agree.
And this week we're gonna do it. So, Nick, who are we calling?
You're going to call my mother. Well, our mother.
Your mother.
My mother.
Yeah, we'll call my mother first, and then we'll speak to his mother
Yeah.
afterwards.
At the same time. Oh my god. This is great. This is great.
Okay.
Yeah, call
Are we
away.
ready?
Yeah, 100%. We're
Okay,
ready.
perfect.
And because we've had her on the episode before, she'll know the rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does
Hello.
matter. Hello. How are you?
Jules, welcome to the
awesome.
podcast. Woo.
Hello.
Hey, Mum.
Hey.
This is really exciting because last week we lost. So Nick is ready to try and continue for the title for us to lose again. That made no sense.
Oh,
So-
okay.
If
Yeah.
you lose again,
Yeah.
The
it
guests,
almost is like a curse for me, isn't it?
the guests currently hold the title
They do.
of winning Articulate on Game
No,
Time
that's
on
too
the
much
PennyLys
pressure.
podcast.
Yeah.
So it is held by guests. So
Yeah.
it's on you guys. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see how we go.
And to help you out, Nick, to try and even the odds, I've actually already sent through the words. So you're going to be guessing today. So can I
Hang on.
confirm?
Yeah, I got the list now.
Can I confirm, Mum, you have the list of words I've sent you?
I have the list.
Okay, perfect. All right. And I've only just sent them through, so she hasn't had the chance to look at them. So,
I have wet hands in the sink, so I've only just dried them.
okay.
There's a lot of noise in the background there.
I wonder what
you're
that's
trying to
from.
bring up. You're trying to bring up like, oh, this is why I'm not going to win. Is that what this is?
Yeah,
No,
yeah. She's
they're 'cause
obviously
they're-
distracted.
Because they're his children.
His children. That makes sense.
Okay, so I'm going to start a minute on the timer. Are you both ready?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and go.
An intersection that no one knows what to do with.
And
It
what?
only goes one direction. An intersection. A traffic
T
intersection
intersection.
that goes in one direction.
One way.
Almost.
Yeah,
In,
skip.
in a circle.
Oh, roundabout.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Keep going.
What about a blanket with a zipper
Sleeping
that you
bag.
sleep in?
Yep. Go.
That's it. elastic, circling
Rubber
join,
band.
put in your hair.
Yeah, you said it. Yep.
Hairband.
Rubber band.
Yep.
He said it. Yep.
The thing you hang your clothes on the line with.
Peg. Close peg.
Yep.
Yes. A pile of bales.
Pile of bales.
Loose bale. Yeah, so you cut your grass and you stick it in a big tall pile.
Like a haystack.
Yeah.
Yes. A big wheel with chairs in it that you can sit in at the show. Oh, I said wheel.
Ferris wheel.
Sorry.
Yep.
Next one. Yeah. Something you use to put in.
Time.
It comes in Phillips. Sorry.
Oh, we got
Screwdriver.
that's pretty
Sorry.
freaking good though. That's
Yeah.
that's a good
That,
amount.
I
How
think
many
that
was
was like
that?
5.
Yeah, that was
wasn't that many.
roundabout.
5 is pretty good.
Haystack. What was the other ones?
Sleeping bag.
Sleeping
peg.
bag, peg,
Rubber band.
rubber band.
5.
5.
That's
That's pretty
sure it was
good.
Okay.
We will let you know whether or not he wins.
Ferris wheel.
5. No, that was
Yeah,
after
yeah.
the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said wheel.
Yeah.
No, radio.
Okay, 5.
Yeah,
Thanks for
5 it is. Okay, thank you.
thanks for joining us, Julie.
Thank
and
you.
Did you have any feedback from the last episode that you were on? Any questions or any feedback that you had?
Oh, so many more conspiracies. They go so bloody deep.
Oh,
Warren is just huge.
oh okay. Well, we'll get you on
We'll
the next
circle
one.
back.
We'll circle back.
Yeah,
The
circle
answers
back.
have only just come through now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
That
Oh,
was
it's
that
up
was
to-
really good.
You did very well. Very well.
Yeah. So five. We've got to beat
5.
5. So we've got to get 6 to win this.
Yeah. Are you doing the timer?
Yep.
Okay, great.
So this week, Liz will be doing the speaky speak, and
Yeah.
I'll be the one doing the talky talk.
Can we just take a moment?
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
like to apologise.
Why?
I was really disappointed last week, and I may have blamed it on you and your speaking. But the fact I didn't know the word sofa played a part. So I apologise. I think you did a really great job.
Okay.
So let's see how we go this time.
Okay. Let's do this. You got the timer?
3, 2, 1, go.
It puts a picture onto the
Projecting
wall.
screen.
Yeah,
Projector?
but it has a tape in it that it projects on. So it also
Projector.
yeah. Think of in a camera. What do you put in a camera?
Film. Film reel.
Yep. So
Yep.
film projector.
Film projector. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You cook rice. No, I can't say that. Okay. I don't like that one. Okay. This is an ad on a sign. It's really big and it's
Can you help me out?
another way that you
Billboard.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my. This is terrible.
These are hard ones.
Okay, this one. It is a you put liquid in it and you pour it out into cups. So it's big.
A jug.
Yeah.
That's a minute.
Okay.
So we got what? 3? Oh.
So film projector, cooker. I said cook. I was thinking like rice cooker. Anyway, so I got that one wrong. No, so we only got 2.
Oh
I've
no.
got to give it
So-
to every other guess you had. I didn't realize how hard it was to sit here and not say the answer if you know the answer.
So,
Yeah, I know, right?
So this one, juggernaut.
Oh, Juggernaut. Oh
I was
my
gonna
God.
try. So I skipped it, but I had to
I
come
would
back
have
to
thrown
it.
an X-Men
We
reference
got some
straight in
bloody
there.
hard ones.
And this
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
assault course.
Assault course.
I know. So
Yeah.
Oh my God. They were hard ones.
they were hard ones. I know
Wow.
you had peg, rubber band.
I kind of
Roundabout.
assumed that like the second or third one would be trampoline just because of the conversation we had
No,
earlier.
that was
but
tough. That was really tough. So you have
Congratulations,
retained
you've retained the guest.
the
Like,
guest.
Yeah.
Curse stands.
The guest.
Oh,
Do
wow.
you have any way to remove a curse though?
Well, maybe we can
Let's
talk
talk
about
about
that
that
later.
in
Sure.
the next
We
segment.
may need to do some of those things this week. Wow.
Okay, wow. Yeah, something about saging a house or something
Yeah.
like that. Is that the thing you do?
We'll get into it.
Yeah, all right. Let's get into Down the Rabbit Hole. Let's
Okay.
go. Down the rabbit hole. Craig David singing down the rabbit hole. That's where we're at. We're doing Down the Rabbit Hole. So
With Craig David.
With Craig David, apparently.
What does he have to do with anything?
I don't know. Someone brought it up in one of the podcasts. And
Oh, really?
said I sounded,
like Craig
David when I was singing
okay.
it. And I think I was talking about Monday, Tuesday or something.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what happened. And that's why you guys get to listen to that right now. So you're welcome.
I thought you were going to start singing about someone called Warren, but...
Warren, yeah, because we're going down a rabbit hole, 100%.
Well,
And
I thought maybe does Craig know Warren or
probably they run in the same circles.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Craig, David, Warren, that's 3 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Craig, David, and Warren. Oh my God, where have we gone? Anyway, so today we're talking about curses,
Bad omens.
jinxes, bad omens, that
Yeah.
kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you know
Just
about
your classic.
curses?
Like...
Like, did you do any research?
No.
Oh,
we
sorry.
were drinking
is
and
this-
playing games. We weren't knowledging.
I did curse when I lost. I think where we need to start is what maybe was seen as a curse or a jinx at a particular time, and it just kind of hung around, but we don't really know why.
Okay.
So
And that'll lead into other stuff.
I think so, and we'll just go
Yeah.
deeper from there. So this is just like the little breadcrumb trail at the start.
Okay.
So
And
right
then we'll
now,
go down the Warren.
then we'll go down there. I don't know if breadcrumbs are at the start of a rabbit hole, but that doesn't matter. So right
Depends
now,
if they've gone to get some bread, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
so imagine you're walking down the street and
They mostly
there
eat carrots,
is
though.
there is a painter up a ladder,
Yeah.
and his ladder goes across a sidewalk. Are you just walking straight underneath it, or are you going to walk around it?
It would make sense to go underneath it, right?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
fastest path.
if it's in my way,
Yeah.
just go straight.
but
Well, if there's a clear path underneath, yeah.
but
Yeah.
most people wouldn't on the basis that that's bad luck.
Yeah, right.
So you wouldn't do that. That's a bad omen. As is letting a black cat cross your path. And I mean, there's been some really great comedy sketches. I think it was Mr. Bean who just didn't want to let a black cat cross his path.
Really?
Yeah.
I
So just trying to
I
get
think
in
I've-
front of it. So yeah, and that if you walked under a ladder, that gives you a certain amount of bad luck.
There's
if,
a mirror thing, isn't it?
if you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know, were mirrors really expensive or like hard? And so they were just like, what? Don't break it.
Yeah, it's probably just
You'll
something a
get-
mum said to the
Yeah,
kids and it just hung
correct.
around. It's just
But like these things would break all the bloody time.
Oh,
like, and,
correct.
And hold up, talking about bad movers, like from the start of our podcast, they must have terrible bad luck. Because I'm sure they would have broken a bunch of mirrors.
Yeah, law of averages says they're moving the most mirrors, therefore they would break the most mirrors.
Yeah,
Like it
exactly.
just makes sense.
So
So
they'd
they're
have
just
terrible
terribly
bad luck.
unlucky.
So
is the bad luck whoever it's whoever breaks it.
Or it's not whoever owns the mirror.
Yeah, it's whoever
They just
breaks
go
it.
around breaking people's
But- 'cause
mirrors.
You'd think you would not open a shop that sells mirrors, would you?
So that would make sense to actually hire brand new
Movers.
because they've never broken a
bad
mirror
luck.
before. Potentially, I
No
think
bad
that
luck.
feels like one of the questions you should ask.
Have you ever broken a mirror before?
How big's your truck? How long
many
will it take? How much does it cost? Have you broken any mirrors?
And
I've got another.
yes.
So if your mirror breaks in like an earthquake or something, is that your bad luck or
Yeah.
No,
is the
that's
bad
the
luck the
Earth.
earthquake?
Earth's bad
That's
luck.
the Earth's bad luck.
Yeah.
Think how much bad luck it has. Okay,
Gaia.
so hold on. We aren't responsible for global warming. It's just like a lot of broken mirrors. at
Yeah,
some point.
exactly right. Yeah.
Guy has broken a bunch of mirrors.
But there's Friday being typically bad. So Friday the 13th or Black Friday.
Okay.
Just the number 13.
Oh, I thought you just meant the day
So-
Friday. I was going to say, on Friday's normally a pretty good day.
No, historically they're not. So bad things happen on a Friday. which-
Really?
yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Bad things happen on a Monday. You have to go to work.
Yeah. Bad things happen on a Friday.
Yeah, the number 13.
Yeah.
To the point where some hotels don't have
A 13th floor.
Yeah, that strong of a belief in it. And even down to these are really hard to find any kind of background on. But the ones that I was able to find some background on was around in the theatre in England, not wishing someone good luck
Okay.
and not uttering the words Macbeth.
Oh,
because they
okay.
believed that brought bad luck. So unless you were uttering it in the form of your play and you needed to actually say it, no, you weren't to say the words Macbeth and you
Right.
weren't to wish someone good luck, which is how the break a leg
Yeah.
situation came out of it.
So if they did say it, they'd say break a leg.
If they were to wish someone good luck, they would say break a leg.
Okay.
It doesn't undo.
Instead, that's where that came from.
Yeah, so it doesn't undo it.
Okay, doesn't undo it. It's
No.
just that you should do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say good luck
Correct. You should avoid doing that. So
because
then
it's bad luck.
I got distracted.
Bad luck to say good luck.
Good luck. It's like testing fate.
Yeah,
Like-
I guess you're right. Like
So-
you're putting out in the world, yeah, I'm going to give you the good luck, but that's not how luck works.
That's not how luck works.
Yeah.
And so it's like saying to someone, oh, yeah, that's never happened to me. And because you've put that out, you're like tempting fate. Like,
Oh.
oh,
I
So-
touch wood all the time as well.
touching wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so knocking on wood
Yeah.
is actually a thing. And so where they believe it comes from is people would knock on tree trunks to try and rouse the spirits and call on their protection. But it may have also been a way of showing gratitude for a stroke of good luck. So just like, thank you very much.
Okay.
So it was
Or
about
please
the spirits.
protect me.
Please protect me.
Yeah, okay.
And it was a way of, the spirits were within the trees. And so that's what he were calling on for good luck. So I actually did find some
right.
information about that one.
Oh, I like it.
But what
my
about-
supervisor at work last week? In one of the pre-starts, he mentioned about how we haven't had any incidents this week. It's been really good, touch wood, and then he knocked on the side of the metal building. Everyone was straight away, oh no, you shouldn't have done that.
It's
Because
metal.
it's
It's,
metal.
It's not wood.
not wood.
No.
I like
Could have
the
cursed us for the last couple of days there.
coming from Gladstone, it's like tradie places. You get touch wood and they go knock their penis. Go dunk, dunk. Have you not seen that?
No.
No. I don't think
We
I've
must
been
run
the
in
same
different
place.
circles. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Must be just me then.
I'm not denying I've been in the same places, but probably just a decade later.
Yeah. Okay. We might need to do some more research in that one. But my concern came from, what if I'm like walking around and, a cat runs in front of me and I can't stop it? What do I do? Am I just stuck with that curse or can I do something about it?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But we used to have black cats.
We did have black cats.
And they jump in front of you all the time, I'd say.
Of course I would. They're cats.
Is that so we just had something to blame the bad luck on every time?
Maybe.
Or it could be that. Could be
Like a
that.
It could be that.
preemptive sort of thing, like, bad stuff happens.
Okay.
It's a saying, the...
Yeah. Okay.
So you
happens.
actually brought some stories, right? So bad stuff happening and you thinking
people.
that...
I don't think curses have to be a bad thing.
Okay. Tell us what you think.
Well, there was a guy in Texas in the US
Yeah.
in the 1800s
Okay.
that he cheated on his wife and his wife left him and ended up unaliving. And
Okay.
the brother of the wife came around to his house to shoot at him and missed.
Okay.
And decades later, he ended up it hit a tree, the bullet.
Okay.
Decades later, he was cutting down trees, and obviously this is where the bad stuff happens.
Yeah.
But apparently, he was cutting them down with dynamite for some reason, like sound decisions. But apparently, the explosion dislodged the bullet and ended up hitting him in the head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the bullet that was supposed to get him all those years earlier did getting him.
Did get him later.
That's a final
Wow.
destination.
Yeah,
thing, isn't
that
it?
is.
That's final destination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But you're right. When you think about people are cursed, well, he's cursed because he got struck by lightning and he
And
fell
lived.
and lived. He fell down a hill, and lived.
Yeah,
And
or
keeps
like-
falling
all-
down hills.
he
In a plane
everything.
crash or something like
Yeah,
that. It's like,
exactly.
he's
Lost
cursed.
his house. All of this. House in a fire, but he survived.
Like all country songs. Lost his
Yeah,
house.
correct.
Lost
His
his
dog.
dog. You
Yeah.
blew a tire.
Yeah.
There was a lady in somewhere in the States that her house got taken away by a tornado 5 times.
Wow.
And it's so unlucky. It's like, yeah, but she survived all 5 of those.
Yeah.
Assumingly in her house for at least a couple of them.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
wow.
how unlucky do you have to be to survive, though? Like,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty lucky, isn't
She's
it?
very lucky.
Yeah, the houses. She
Okay.
should probably stop buying property. But... or take out better insurance,
But,
maybe.
after, that's such an interesting story because after the first time, you're like, What's the chance of that happening again?
That
After
wouldn't
the
happen to
second
me.
time, you're like, it's not going to happen again. After the third time, just move. Like,
Just get out of there. Right?
But okay, let's say you buy another plot of land around the same area and you go there.
happens to
and
you
then it
again.
happens again. And you're like, if I just stayed, because like, what are the chances? Like, it's
So you
just
move
as-
back
I
to the
don't-
first place?
I
And then it
don't think
comes
this
again.
was the same property either. I think
Oh,
this
she
was
just moved around.
different properties.
Oh, if she'd stayed in the
Wow.
same
If she
spot,
stayed in the
maybe.
same place.
Because
Yeah.
obviously she's not staying in the same house if it gets taken by a tornado.
Yeah, I thought she just rebuilt.
Yeah.
She's very industrious.
Yeah, right.
But like you could make a business out of that, couldn't you? Like, oh look,
It'd be very
I need
niche.
I need my house to be rebuilt. I need a new house. I'll pay you to come and stay in it.
Yeah, right. I'm
Just for the
actually
insurance
cursed.
payout. I don't know if that'd be some sort of
Tornado
fraud or-
season comes
Yeah.
along. I've got the cursed lady coming.
Yeah, that'd be the busiest time of the year for her.
Yeah, right.
But you're right. She's lucky
She
that
would
she's
be, yeah.
Yeah, she's lucky that she survived.
And you were telling me beforehand, like there was a guy that was struck by lightning 7 times.
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
more to that story? Is it just like he
No,
lived?
I was just
yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
That's like, you know, you got to be cursed to be getting
struck by
hit
lightning 7 times.
How
in
hard
in 5
is it?
years. That's insane.
But yes, are you cursed, or are you cursed if you get struck by lightning once and you die?
Yeah.
Like, what is the curse? Is the curse that you don't survive it, or is the curse that you are invincible and it doesn't matter what happens to you,
Well, that's
you're
a
all
bit of
like,
a god complex to have.
well, I know, but I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have even survived that once. To say that you
Yeah.
survived it 7 times, like that's a pretty big deal.
But if you're in like a plane that crashes
Yeah.
and you survive it, and
Yeah.
people go, oh, if you're in a second one that crashes, you're the cursed one. Who's to say that there wasn't somebody else on that plane that was cursed? And that's why
Yeah.
the plane crashed in the first place.
Well, there's no real detection, is there?
No.
There's no real way of knowing. It's not like we can just, you know, what's your surname? Where you from? Let me check the book of curses.
Yeah. You just call up a 1-800 number. Hey, just cursed someone. Need you to take it down, and it's
So this is interesting. It
going to last
says
6.5 years.
it says that in the US during one's lifetime, the chances of getting hit by lightning are 1 in 15,300.
Wow.
So that's
What does it say about getting hit by lightning
That's
7
pretty
times?
bloody high. That's a
I-
lot higher than I would expect.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. I thought it was like 1 in a few million. I didn't think like 1 in 15,000.
Yeah.
Like, how many people are
And
getting
any
struck by
given-
lightning?
Well, it's 2,000 per year.
2,000 people are getting struck by
Are
lightning
struck by
per year?
lightning every year.
Just in the US.
That's what it said. No, in the world, around the
Okay.
world, 2,000.
Wow.
That's crazy amount of numbers.
Except 1 year where it was 1,994.
Whatever.
Skewed the results over a 3-year period.
But
Oh, that's right. It was over 5
that's a
years. but
lot
still.
higher than I expected.
I
So
didn't-
maybe that's why it's happening.
I didn't
7
think there was
times.
going to be that many people getting struck by
Maybe
lightning.
old Blake has like this metal hat that he wears everywhere, and he rubs his feet on the ground and
To get
You know-
static.
static
You know that he's
energy.
in the
Or,
Guinness World Records for
Really?
that. Hey?
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does he live on a really high hill? There's no trees
He's,
around. It's just you.
He's a park ranger. He actually, I guess he'd stay up in the hills. He's a park
Wow.
ranger.
He stands out in the open. He's like, all right, this is it.
All right,
And just cursing or just saying stuff that offends.
all right. So getting into some of the curses that we were asked to have a little bit of a look into.
Yes.
King Tutankhamun's curse.
Yeah.
So this one was pretty wild. So basically, Tutankhamun, also known as King Tut, was a pharaoh who ruled in Egypt, 1300 BC for around 9 years. So he was young.
9.
9 years. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he was young. This was the guy that had the club foot. He was inbred. So he had a lot of problems. So didn't live very long. He was actually not like super important. Like nothing really eventful happened in his lifetime. And-
Why do we know about him then?
yeah. So the reason he's pretty popular is partly because of this curse, partly because his tomb was very well hidden.
Yeah, okay.
And it wasn't one of the tombs that were raided by grave robbers back in the day.
Therefore,
So-
it was left.
Yeah, so they knew about the tomb, and people were searching for it. It was very famous for people trying to search for it because it was written in text or something about this tomb that was around this area. or whatever.
And then it was going to contain like lots of gold and stuff like that. That's
yeah.
why they wanted it.
Yeah, like hidden treasures, all that kind of stuff. So that's what got everyone interested in the story as it goes. So the guy Howard Carter, he was the one that found Tutankhamun's tomb. So the interesting thing about him was he spent so many years trying to search for this this tomb, and basically just before he found the tomb, he was called back to his financier, who was Lord Farquhar. I don't know, some
Also
guy.
from Shrek.
Yeah, Farquhar. Yeah, I don't know. Some lord. He was the financier.
He's gathered all his knights and he's like, look, I'm looking for this princess and this tomb.
Yeah.
Totally separate quests. Who wants to take them?
Yeah.
Everyone was
Do
lining
you
up for
know
the
the
tomb.
Muffin Man?
Nobody
Do you
wanted
know
to
the
go get the
Muffin
princess,
Man?
though.
Exactly. Anyway, so he's called back to this guy who was like, he'd had enough because he's been searching for so many years. He'd been paying this guy to do whatever, running around the neighborhood trying to find stuff. I don't know. The idea
gap
of
there.
the idea of someone paying someone to just go dig places for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's
Really?
the return
Actually,
on
maybe-
investment?
That's what I get paid to do.
Yeah, minor. Right. Okay.
I get
just
paid
go
to
dig
go dig
places.
places.
Okay.
I don't know where I dig. We're just wherever we get told to.
Anyway, he goes back to the financier, and the financier is the king, Lord Farquhar, whatever his name is. He is all like, "Nah, we're not continuing this. I'm
done.
firing you. That's
Yeah.
it."
So is he going to continue the search for someone else, or we're just cutting it off?
He was going to cut it off
Yeah,
completely.
cut my
He was
losses. That's it. We
I've
can't
had
find
enough. I've
it.
spent too much money.
Yeah, great.
So old mate Howard, he's like basically begged this guy for 6 more months. So he's basically got down on his knees and been like, "Come on, please, I need this. I am so close. I feel like I'm going to find it so soon." Whatever. 3 days later, he finds it. After
and then he
begging.
waits 5 months and 4 weeks.
To tell him.
just to take the weekly pay.
To get his pay. I'd imagine there'd be a bonus. I don't know how these things work. Anyway,
Time bonus sort of thing. Like you find it today, you get paid more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when that was thrown in, that's why he found it 3 days
Yeah,
later. He
correct. He already knew
there.
where it was.
He'd been dragging it out for how many years?
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, so they find the entrance. They don't open it. They get Farquhar to come over. I don't know his name. If you know his name, just bring him.
Come around and pop the
Yeah,
locks.
so back from England, he travelled over for the opening of it. And so he's come over and they've opened the tomb.
Yep.
That's where the curse began, apparently.
Who did it curse?
A lot of it is very media sensationalized, basically. But what happened was they opened the tomb and a sandstorm started. So they had to get cover.
That's ominous.
Yeah, I know. Get cover, right?
They might have broken a mirror.
Yeah. But again, media sensationalized. Sandstorms happen there quite a bit, potentially.
At
But
the exact time.
exact time,
I don't know.
know.
Seems sus to me.
Within a half an hour, maybe.
It would have
Who
been
knows?
completely different if it was like in the middle of a jungle or something.
Yeah,
And then
that
a
would have been
sandstorm
weird.
started.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Exactly. So it was unusual because Lord Farquhar, he died within the month of opening the tomb. So the financier of opening the tomb died within the month of opening the tomb. The reason it was weird is it was a mosquito bite that killed him. He was at Egypt, at the tomb site, got bitten by a mosquito, which you wouldn't expect to be a great deal. And within the month, he died from that infection of that thing.
I mean, it may not be a big deal now, but surely it was a big deal then.
That's what some people are saying, yeah.
Secondly, could he actually have already been ill? Like outside of the mosquito bite, he wanted to pull the funding.
There could be something else there too, right? There could be.
There could be.
So the newspapers, they brought a lot of, fanfare around
Yeah.
it. Basically, some of the headlines were basically Pharaoh's curse strikes again. Carnarvon, who was Farquhar, dead after tomb opening. Curse of Pharaoh lives. Expert fear mummy's wrath after Lord Farquhar's death. King Tut's revenge. String of deaths plagues those who dared disturb his rest. So this was all happening within a year. There was a couple of deaths that happened within the year of people that opened the tomb. Do I think it's real?
I think, yeah, I get what you were saying about the media sensationalization. Like, think about the media there, right? Let's say they're reporting and they're asking people. Of course, if outsiders were coming to your land and like finding stuff and trying to steal your history, would you not be
holes.
like, oh, it's cursed, like they're gonna get you, look, that person died.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I'd do that too.
Yeah, probably.
Do any of the articles say how many people also died by mosquitoes? Or,
No, it was
nobody
just-
else died from mosquitoes that year or something like that?
Yeah,
Because it could have just been
no,
a really
right.
big thing at the time.
I think it was. I think like I
Yeah.
don't think it was. I don't think it was like massive, but I think like
It wasn't unheard of.
wasn't unheard of in
It happened
Egypt.
at least once.
In Egypt, in Egypt. But yeah, there was a few deaths and media sensationalized it. Do I think it's real? I don't think that's a curse. I think doing tomb dives or going tomb exploring is really dangerous because like it's an enclosed space.
Yeah.
They
They booby trapped them as well.
well
Like,
that, but they also had like embalming liquids and all this kind of stuff and stuff that they kept in like all these vases, which could have developed into poisons and stuff like that when they've opened it. And there
Yeah.
are stories of that where
Yeah.
people have died from poisonous gases when they've opened tombs and stuff like that, and just like what do you call them? Mushrooms, funguses that grow and stuff like that, and spores. Like,
Yeah.
what's that? Last of Us. Anyway, but yeah, that's an interesting story, and I think.
Do you think that when they were making the tombs, they got the idea from The Last of Us?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Oh,
They're
this
like, hey, I
work.
saw this thing on the tablet one
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I was playing this game.
Yeah, I was playing this game on the stone tablet.
Exactly.
yeah, I think it wouldn't have been the first thing that wouldn't have been the first tomb that would have had some type of thing around when you open it that like something's happened and someone's died, and so I think
Yeah.
it's kind of spiraled from there.
I'd be interested to see more about that kind of stuff. How many people passed away,
Yeah.
or even some of these grave robbers, because grave robbers was a big
Yeah.
thing before this happened. And
High risk, high reward.
yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
actually the origin of gambling, isn't it? It's
Is
like,
it?
oh, somebody's going to open a tomb. Let's put bets on how long they're going to survive.
Really?
No.
Oh, you got me
I
there.
had to go on though, didn't I?
Wow, that could have been fun. Like, yeah.
So aside from Tutankhamun, what other
Yeah, so this one wasn't asked for, but I found it along the way, and I went.
and I'm going to give it to you
and
anyway.
I'm going to give it to you anyways to take this. And this is like, I got really into this one because it was really interesting. Do you know much about the Hope Diamond?
Yes.
Yeah,
What-
only everything you were telling us. No.
I kept it all a secret.
Yeah, you did.
What do you know about the Hope Diamond?
Came from India.
Yeah.
Some guy acquired it.
Okay.
It was recut a couple of times, and then it was named when the guy Hope got it. And then it kept changing hands, I think, due to misfortune, and now it's in a museum because no one wants to own it.
Okay.
That's what I know about it.
Okay. So some of
Am I right?
I will. Some of it's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tell you the story of it. And this, some of it's sort of a bit. It's
Out
hard
there.
to tell. Some of it's real, or some of it's not real. Some of the sources like very sort of
Sketchy.
sketchy.
Yeah.
Like origin. And then some of the stories in it are like guesses because they don't have a lot of information on it. And basically that Hope guy, no, not the Hope guy. There was a guy at the end that really sensationalized a lot of the stories with it. And I'll get into it. So there's a little bit of a story. I'll go through it. So, okay. So the Hope Diamond is this magnificent 45 carat blue diamond.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. It's huge. So
Okay.
the curse.
Have you seen the picture of it? Oh,
It's
magnificent.
huge. I'll put a
Yeah.
picture on the
Blue Rock.
podcast. so you
Yeah,
can see.
yeah. Blue
Blue
Rock.
Rock.
Yep, nailed it.
Yeah. That's the one.
So yeah,
Blue.
maybe I have.
Yeah.
Have I seen a blue rock?
I've seen Blue Rocks before.
Well, you know what it looks like.
Yeah, close enough.
Okay, so the curse suggests that the diamond brings misfortune to its owners, including financial ruin, violent unnatural deaths, scandals, etc., etc. So the early origins of it was the diamond. It's unclear, but it's think to have come from India. The story that is out there about it, this is the most prominent story, is a corrupt priest under a blood red eclipse stole the diamond from villagers, thinking it was the heart of the sun deity of his temple. So I told you it was a bit out there.
Yeah.
Okay, by stealing it, he started the curse, and over the next few weeks, he became sick and died. The temple crumbled, and over the years, the ground was barren, and you couldn't grow anything there.
Isn't this just the plot for the new Jumanji movie? That is what happened, isn't it? He
Is it
stole the
real?
green,
I've not seen the
green
new-
gem. No, you know Jumanji?
I've not seen the new Jumanji.
He stole the gem
don't
from the
ruin
village people.
Yeah,
Really?
don't.
Well, not the village people, the ones that sing. The
village people.
The villagers, sorry.
Yeah, the
He stole the gem
Yeah,
from the villagers
see
and then it was cursed and stuff.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to watch
Because
Jumanji.
it started off sounding exactly like it.
Well, don't ruin the rest of it if they've just copied this story.
Yeah, maybe they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're on the right
we
page?
need to get to the script writers of Jumanji into this. Anyway,
Yeah, and then the Rock came in and did this.
okay, so thousands of years later, a gem hunter who was employed by the French royals heard of the diamond and went searching for years to find it. Found it on his travels back to France. He, like traveling by horse or whatever, he was attacked by wolves and died.
Okay.
The gem still found its way back to the royals. So King Louis XIV, where it stayed with the royal family for over 100 years. King Louis gifted the diamond to his wife, who then died in childbirth.
Wow.
Yeah. She wasn't the child. The wife, yeah. The wife had a child, and
Yeah.
that makes sense. No one
Yeah.
would think the other way. Then some years later, obviously.
Oh god.
Are you all right? Yeah. The King Louis married an unborn child. For anyone else that didn't think through that, why does my brain do this sometimes?
Wasn't there, but then I
Then I was like, here you go.
It was kind of like before when I was talking about the village people that at no point was it ever
No,
in
no one
question.
thought
but
the
all
village
my brain
people
went
were
straight
back
to that. I
then.
was talking about the YMCA.
Time is circular. There was village people back then singing the songs, and it's come back. And it's like, are you all right, Liz?
I'm good.
Okay, good.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
Continue with the story.
So it continued in the royal family, where they think that, the people that enjoy this curse and the story of this curse think that it was actually one of the contributors to the downfall of Marie Antoinette.
Makes sense.
She
Checks
was,
out.
yeah, I know, right? She was blinded by the beauty of the diamond, and she forgot about her people.
You
which
know,
led to her
that
demise.
also reminds me of a movie, My Precious.
My precious.
So, like, checks out. Checks
Yeah,
out.
lost all hygiene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And went
Just
to live in
wears-
a cave.
just wears a loin rag. Yeah, Marie Antoinette, 100%. So it was lost through the French Revolution, obviously, the big whatever.
Yep.
And it resurfaced in London in 1839 with a diamond merchant named Henry Hope. So this was 1839. Henry Hope, he actually gave it the name.
Was he the one who redid it? Did he like?
I didn't see anything where they've redid it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's
It
okay.
doesn't actually matter, but
No, but that's an interesting fact that
Yeah.
maybe someone who's out there would like, who has that information could share it in the comments.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
So-
remade it.
they recut it. They recut
okay.
it. And I don't know
think
whether
you
they
can recut it. You got to take it to Mount Doom and throw it in the fire. Don't you? Only there can it be unmade.
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's the Hope Diamond officially.
Okay, the Hope Diamond
Yep.
officially. He then sold it to someone at that time, and then he died the same year.
Okay.
He was 65. Just adding that in there.
So
sorry,
not unusual for
And
what year was
what
it?
year was this? Yeah.
1839.
Oh,
He was
you
quite
know,
old.
Given
So
the
that was-
healthcare, he should have lived to at least 96 that year.
Exactly. Anyway,
Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah.
I'm adding the little bits.
Yeah,
of-
yeah. As we go. Yeah.
1911, the Diamond then journeyed across the sea to Evelyn Walsh McLean in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So she was like a socialite. Her life was like, I don't know.
All parties and
Parties
jazz.
and stuff like that. Jazz. But her life became a tragedy after she got the diamond.
What happened to her?
So her son died in a car crash, her daughter overdosed, and she lost her fortune.
Wow.
All three things. Boom.
Couldn't have
just-
anything
it's
to do with the
just-
mafia or anything.
It's just too convenient that blaming everything bad that ever happens to you on something.
Yeah. So I guess what they're
People
saying
have
is
bad
once
luck.
they got it, that's when the bad things
Yeah.
started happening. But
They led a privileged life up until then.
But,
and
you
then
know, if
now-
you
Start
party with
breaking
all your
mirrors,
money,
you're walking on the
yeah,
ladders.
exactly.
Yeah.
You could have walked under 10
Yeah.
ladders. Who knows?
there was an earthquake, all of your mirrors broke at the one time. Like, you don't know what happened. Yeah, that
She
is
was very
unfortunate.
wealthy. She probably had a lot of mirrors too.
Yeah. So her son died, they lost their money, and her daughter overdosed. But she kept the diamond?
She get the diamond until she died. And
So did she
She
actually
didn't
think
give
it
it
was
after
that
she
unlucky? Like,
yeah, maybe it's just people on the outside thinking whatever,
Yeah.
and it's blinding her, and she's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
she's
I'm
like, it's
going
fine,
deep
I'm
into
keeping
this.
it. Yeah, okay.
Okay, on selling the
Yes.
diamond when she
Yep.
died, Harry Winston, the jeweler, he was the one that purchased it, and he was the one that told all the stories and made it a real big thing. Like he would
Right.
share the stories quite
Harry
a lot.
Winston was a marketer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Driving up the value.
That's exactly trying to drive up the value. Yeah. But he never actually sold it. So the driving up the value thing.
What's the point of it
what's
if you're
the
not
point
going to
if
sell
you're not
it?
going to sell it? So he
Well, maybe there was nobody that was willing to buy it because they'd all heard the stories that he was spreading.
No, I think maybe it was a status thing.
yeah, potentially.
He could have been
Like-
too good at marketing.
Yeah. He's like, I've gone in too far here.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
could never sell it. It's
it's
worth too
invaluable.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that everyone was like, oh, he's the guy that has it. That brought him a certain amount of status. Therefore, why would he ever sell it?
exactly. So it was rumored that he never touched it with his bare hand.
His bare hand.
His bare hands. Yeah, so he'd always wear gloves or, hold it without that. And in 1958, he donated to the Smithsonian, and that's where it's been locked away ever since. So you can actually go to the Smithsonian in New York City.
Touch it.
You can't touch it. Ooh.
Wow.
But that's where it is.
I wish we'd gone there when we were in New York.
Yeah, it's good to know these stories and then go
Yeah.
along and actually see the
Very
history.
lucky that you didn't.
Yeah, well, it's
Well-
locked away in a cage,
So was that a
like glass cage of
prerequisite?
emotion.
You had to touch the Hope Diamond for
Well,
it to curse you.
That's
That's
what
what
they're
he's saying.
yeah.
That's what he's saying.
It's
So,
like, I didn't touch it, so I'm fine.
yeah. Yeah, so
Wow.
that's the story of the Hope Diamond. I got right in deep depth with that one. I've enjoyed that story.
Are you done with it, or after this,
That's-
are you
that's
going?
the story.
I've still
No,
got
I
Oh,
mean, are you
I'm
going
going to
back?
New York.
Yeah.
I've got
I'll
several
see you
questions
then.
Great.
now.
I want to hear your questions.
So what about if he kept it and nothing was bad was happening to him, and people started questioning that, like, oh, you're not cursed?
Yeah,
And
that's
why he's moved it
probably
along?
why he said that he never actually physically touched
Yeah,
it,
just
where
made
everyone
up
else is
Yeah.
touched
some sort
it.
of
Yeah,
thing that's
he-
like, oh, no, it definitely couldn't have hurt me.
No,
'cause I'm
he
not-
wore it while he was in the bathtub every
Yeah,
night.
Yeah.
But nothing bad ever
Just
happened.
that.
So he was like,
He just
Crave
walked
it.
around his house like he's the last
Treat
man
it
on
like
earth.
his baby.
exactly. Laid on the pillow next to him as he slept. He just cuddled it. Yeah.
I've got a new answer for what I would do if I was the last person on earth. Now I've got
Go to Smithsonian and get the Hope
Smithsonian.
Diamond.
go find the Hope Diamond.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a good skill. That in my mind, it just went to you should learn how to fly. I think that'd be a good skill if you're the last person on Earth. You need to learn how to fly to be able to go to these places because
That is
you
true.
can't get pilots gone.
And nobody went anywhere before planes.
Yeah,
Well,
but how are you going
Yeah,
to
just
get
get in
there?
it.
It's going to take you so long. Like in an ocean, in a massive ocean. Nah, it's a no from me.
Okay.
Plain for sure.
If you get
My
lost,
question.
then nobody can come out and find you.
My question.
Yeah.
Could the people like Marie Antoinette and Evelyn McLean, could they have broken that curse? Is there documented proof that you can break a curse? What do you do?
I mean, okay, I have a couple of answers for this. First of all, I would think a curse is normally attached to the person, not an object. But then in saying that, we talked about ghosts and things hanging around, and if a curse is energy, then maybe that's not the case. So I didn't know the answer. So I did some Googling.
Okay, cool.
So my first, the only way that I know how you break a curse is when you spill a salt. That's bad. You spill salt,
Okay.
you throw some over your shoulder.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, that's
Right?
that's
Done.
the only one that I know as well.
You break your curse. So I was like, okay, cool. It must be this easy.
Was there saging?
I
Because
don't know where you go for information on how to break curses, but I go to WikiHow. How to do anything.
how do?
Now, there's a few different ways. One is taking a salt bath. Now, it's really specific. It goes through step by step. 273 grams of sea salt and 32 grams of baking soda into a hot bath.
That's very
Yes.
precise. Okay.
So you
Does
want
it
to
say how
pour
much water?
No, it doesn't. It actually
How
says
do you get the mixture right then?
it says use your hand to stir the water counterclockwise until the salt and baking soda dissolve. It
If you're in the
then-
southern hemisphere, do you do it the other way?
No.
Okay.
Is
It
your
actually-
hand already taking the salt bath then?
Yeah, maybe.
Because
It
then for
said-
the rest of the bath, you've got to have your hand out because you don't want it in there too long.
That's true.
It said you actually don't need to be exact with it. Just add a couple of handfuls of salt and a sprinkling of baking soda. So don't worry too much. Then what you need to do is visualize positive energy when you hop into the bath and recite a spell or a prayer before you get into the water. And you might like to use a spell like this one. Salt and water make me pure. Bring me now the perfect cure. Let this water make me free. So I will, so mote it be.
I love how like rhymes have real power. You
They
know what I mean?
do.
That's why I like to write music.
So you could just sing one of your songs, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's step one: baking soda and salt. Second
Toil
one,
and trouble.
Second one: smudging your energy. So you can either do that using a selenite wand, sweeping away from your body, or option two is light a sage bundle and use a feather to waft
Sage
the smoke
the
over you.
house.
Sage the house.
Shani knows what she's talking about with that.
She does. Once you've picked either one of those, you need to recite a cleansing spell or say a prayer. And I'll leave it up to you for what you say. There are some
Just
suggested
start
items in
singing
here.
Reverse
Okay.
This Curse by Escape the Fate.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly. We'll just play it in the background. That'll help.
yeah, absolutely. But think positive.
Bring morale
Think
up,
positive.
Yeah. The last one, which was really interesting, was creating a simple candle spell. And you put a candle in a bowl and you fill up the bowl with water, so the candle's sticking up in the middle, and you add some salt into the bowl and you visualize a white light flowing into the water and you light the candle and you say your prayer. You wait until the candle burns down so it goes out. You break the candle in half, you dig a hole and you bury it.
Okay.
I've heard somewhat of that about
Yeah.
the whole breaking the candle in half and then burying it.
Yeah,
I
What-
don't know what it related to though.
I don't know.
What I like about this is obviously they've tried and tested some of these things.
Yep.
So obviously this thing has helped with something. So they've found out like in that way and
so
they've passed
maybe.
that down the track. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
Yeah.
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 The
Or just somebody that sells candles decided this is how you break a curse. and
They're like, what
Candle
else? I already sell sage. What else can I sell? Candles.
Candles. Selenite ones.
So I
Corner in
kind
the
of
market.
heard about those situations first. The one I'd not heard about, which is probably why it's number 4, is making a mirror box where you would use a tin. You would put glue a mirror into the top part of the tin once you've opened it up.
Yep.
And then you would actually put a representation of the person who cursed you inside the box. Oh. So if you know who cursed you, place an item that represents them. If you don't know, use a small doll or a piece of paper that says the Hexer and put that in the item so it's facing the mirror.
Voodoo.
Voodoo.
This was the last thing that we got requested to try and look into. And I did look into a bunch of this stuff.
It's really interesting where it's come from, if it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it comes about. So yeah, there's a part of voodoo in, or maybe how to break a curse if someone has actually used voodoo against you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, popular.
Voodoo or hoodoo?
Voodoo or the Goo Goo dolls.
Yeah.
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 Goo Goo dolls. Oh my god. All right, so
I wonder if anybody's been cursed by the Goo Goo dolls before.
someone
after this.
crowd surfing and
reach out
jumped
to
up on
them
the
and
stage.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if our people can reach out, that'd be great. Okay, so popular culture with the origins of voodoo and voodoo dolls have been around for centuries, used by witch doctors and voodoo practitioners to inflict pain and suffering on their enemies. These dolls were often made of straw, rags, or even clay, and were said to be magically linked to persons they represent. The most famous voodoo doll image is of one stuck with full of pins. The idea of sticking a pin in the doll represents inflicting an injury on the person or linked to, more pins, the more pain. Not all popular culture voodoo dolls were bad though. Sometimes they were used for good, like healing
Yeah.
and loved, or protecting someone from harm. But even then, there's usually a dark or mysterious side to them. So that's the popular culture part of
Yeah.
it.
That's how they're depicted
Yeah, exactly.
in real life.
In real life, so voodoo dolls were not a huge thing with the Haitian or
Caribbean.
Caribbean or
Yeah.
Louisiana sort of voodoo religion.
As a religion, yeah.
Yeah.
Effigies were used for spiritual purposes. So voodoo dolls, as we know them, do pop up in those kind of cultures sometimes, but they were a rarity.
When you're saying effigy, you mean the ones where they'd capture them in the containers and
I'm not exactly sure. What's an effigy, Liz?
yeah, it's like a figurine sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like a
And-
likeness.
Yeah, and then they'd capture the spirit in there,
Oh,
and then
right.
they'd use that and I guess
Okay.
enchant it.
To
Yeah.
capture it and keep it in
Yeah.
there.
So
Like
the
humming, escape the fate to it.
So the voodoo doll thing, it came from stories from Hollywood basically, and they sort of bring it up. But we think it came from Grigri.
What?
Grigri.
I don't know what that is.
We've seen it before watching Supernatural, and they didn't call it Grigri.
Oh.
So what Grigri is in Haitian voodoo practitioners use Grigri in small pouches.
Yeah.
And the pouches contain herbs, consecrated objects like sometimes dirt from a graveyard, and all kinds of little objects like
bones.
bones of a
and stuff like
bird
that.
and
Yeah.
trinkets that brought good luck to people or were known to be owned by some people, stuff like that. But Grigris were mostly used for positive, like healing, protection, love, that kind of stuff, to bring that kind of energy into it. So the not generally, so Haitians don't generally associate malevolence with their Grigris or their voodoo culture.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all protection, support, healing, like all positive side of things.
Yeah.
So good curses.
Good
Yeah,
curses.
good
Exactly.
curses.
Maybe they're cursing people to be hit by lightning 7 times and live.
Surviving.
Yeah, they're more like, this is going to happen to you. Let's protect you. I think the really cool thing about voodoo dolls and the Caribbean is that they just ended up having that association to them, and instead of fighting it, they were just like, all right, this is fine. They just lent into it, and it has become a really popular souvenir to take when you actually go there. They actually sell them. So they've really
Again,
lent into
cornering
it.
the market.
Just why not? Like, if people are like, oh, yep, voodoo's a big thing here, and I have now associated you to Hollywood that you have voodoo dolls, why would you just not make them and sell them?
Yeah.
And they are a super popular thing for
Well,
tourists.
They've
Yeah.
been in like movies and stuff from Hollywood since the 1930s. The first movie full-length movie that had a voodoo doll in it was in 1932.
Okay.
It was
There
the
you go.
White Zombie.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
that's what little research I did for all this. And
There's my fun fact for the day.
thank you for having me. I'll
I'll move
myself
on
out.
forever. But what I found interesting is the Haitian like core ethical principle for their religion was do unto others as you would do unto you. I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So hexing or harming someone goes against that principle,
Yeah.
and they would bring. It would often backlash.
Yeah. On you.
On you, the
Yeah.
hexer. But they're saying that, obviously humans, there's bad eggs. So there's potential
There's
that
gonna be
someone
people who are gonna
has
take
brought
it.
bad energy in and
Yeah.
just risked it and went for it.
Wow.
So some of the stories that are out there, though, is, slaves. Back when there were slaves in America, they used to go to their witch doctor to try and curse their
Owner?
slave owner, and so they would do these gree-grees and package them up and send them to the owner and stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy.
Also, imagine they're actually just little bundles of herbs and shit.
Bundles of herbs.
And
they're
a little
just,
doll that they've stitched together.
Correct.
Painstakingly
and
for
they
their
just
owner.
leave them around their owner's house,
And
and they're like, "Ah,
Yeah.
they're trying to curse me."
That is
they're
protection or something.
It's a bag of sand. I put some lavender in there. It smells nice.
I don't know. I think there's energy, and again, I think there's something about things that they've done that potentially we can't explain, that maybe does something, but we just don't know about it yet. And I think there's something to do with that as well. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think
It's packaging, yeah.
belief comes into it a lot too.
Yeah.
If you believe in it
Yeah, correct.
and then bad stuff starts happening, it's
Yeah.
easier to explain it as
Yeah.
that is why.
Yeah.
So on that, and talking about breaking curses, they've actually done a test at a university where they've tested how to break a curse.
Yeah, okay.
And this didn't seem relevant before,
How do
but
you do?
but what they came down to, so I had never heard this before, but a really common way to break a curse is you throw a ball. Seems ridiculous.
Just throw a ball.
You throw a ball. Anyway.
Okay.
And another way was, so when we were talking about saging and you would waft it away and whatever, and when you're in the bath and things like that. Anyway, so what they found was people who were, when they asked them to, you need to do this kick because you've cursed, they made them say statements out loud that were tempting fate. So I've never broken a bone, I've never crashed my car, things like this. And then they would get them to do different activities.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to.
Yeah. And then find out what their belief was after these activities in order to test whether or not they diminished their belief enough that they were okay to kind of move on
right.
and it wouldn't affect them, because at the end of the day, breaking it is actually just limiting your belief in that curse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that
And
interesting?
The side note is, if you do it away from your body, so if you throw it away and you brush away, that's
Put it
what
onto someone else.
that's the movement that helps you believe
Yeah.
that it's no longer with you.
Mindset is a huge thing, right? If it's in your mind, you're making it happen. You know
Correct.
what I mean? Yeah, I agree with that 100%. We have gone down a rabbit hole in this
while
one.
we're still on the subject.
Yeah.
How different would Shrek be as a movie if he picked the other side quest? If he just went looking for the tomb? And then not only that, what would they be doing in the second movie?
What would be the outcome?
There'd probably
It'd
be less dragons.
It's an entirely different movie.
100% less dragons.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And dragons are cool, so keep the dragons in and
Save the
Shrek as it
princess.
is.
so much better. Yeah. If you'd like to see Shrek in a different way, or if you've got any comments at all about any of the stuff we talked about tonight, please do leave them in the comments. Let's wrap this thing up, yeah?
Yeah.
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 I don't know what I'm speaking like this, but let's wrap it up, yeah?
We have done it.
We've done it. We got through.
We did.
We got through.
We went through a lot.
We did do a lot.
Yeah.
We did go through a lot. And I think, some of that curse stuff was actually really interesting.
Yeah. We skimmed over the top of a lot of it.
Yeah. And actually, Nick, you had something that you brought up or thought of through our little break that we had just then
Yeah.
between the last segment and this segment. I'm ruining the magic, aren't I?
I just,
Yeah.
couldn't,
Like,
I just
everyone
couldn't
thinks-
find the time to put it in there.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
It just
Yeah.
didn't seem
Didn't
like the right time
flow?
to add it. Yeah.
Okay. What do we
Can-
I
got?
was going
Tell
to
us
bring up
now.
Miss Unsinkable.
I don't know what that
So
is.
in the early 1900s, there was a nurse that was on the Titanic
Okay.
when it
Oh.
went down,
All
and she
right.
survived. And she
Okay.
was also on one of the sister ship that sunk, the
Britannia, yeah.
Britannia.
Wow.
Yeah, when it sunk as well.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
And then a few years later, she was also on the Olympic, the other sister ship, when it got struck in the middle of the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she survived then?
Well, she got well, it didn't sink, but she she got the nickname Miss Unsinkable, and then a few years later, she ended up getting back on ships and working as a ship nurse, and
No
she did that for like another 30
way.
years.
Wow.
Who as a captain, who would hire her
Yeah.
as the nurse?
Yeah.
No, I
You've been
mean,
on two an unsinkable ship.
I think this is the thing. You can look at it two ways, can't you? Like, one, someone's trying to tell you something. Like, get
Yeah.
off the
Stay out of
ship.
the
Like,
water.
stay out of the water. Just stay
Yeah.
on land. It's for the best. Like, you had your chance. Just, it's all good. Just
Move on.
move on. And the other is like, what are the chances you're going to be on the boat again when it sinks?
Yeah. I know.
So,
Quite a lot.
Do you think she would be cursed, or are the ships? Because everyone thought the Titanic was cursed; it was unsinkable, and then it sank.
Yeah.
I think the
Could
ships
she-
were cursed. She was not cursed. She
was gonna
had like
say.
the guardian angel kind of
That's
thing.
true because
I
she
was gonna say,
survived.
or could she be held responsible for the Titanic sinking?
Oh, probably that.
Yeah, 100%
It's her fault
Let's
solely.
blame her. Sounds like a good call.
Yeah.
Insurance.
It is. I like the way you look at that. Is she cursed or is she
Just has a guardian angel.
Yeah, someone's looking out for her. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah. There's actually another fun story. I'll probably bring it up at some other stage about a ship that's sunk. And I'll leave it at that. Until
Great.
next
I
time.
can't-
The-
I can't
on
wait.
the subject of ships being cursed,
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier about the HMAS Melbourne
Oh, okay.
aircraft carrier.
What about
Oh,
it?
what's...
It got hit by friendly fire twice.
Oh, my
And
God.
people were starting to say that was cursed.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Maybe we could do a whole segment on cursed ships. I know we've brought
Yeah.
up cursed ships already.
Around the Bermuda Triangle.
Around the Bermuda Triangle.
we
But yeah.
did, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's been
there's
good
a lot of
having
that.
you on, Nick. It's
Yeah.
Now I want to watch the ghost ship. You know that one
Yeah, that scene in the ghost ship,
Yeah.
the wire bit.
Yeah, the
oh
dancing one
man,
with
that
the
is
wire.
terrible.
Awful.
Oh,
Brilliant,
the
but
worst,
awful.
the
Yeah.
worst ever. Anyway, thank you so much for having joining us and coming up and actually hanging out with us on the podcast. It's been a good weekend too.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming along. Now, I see this white box that is sitting right next to you.
Yeah,
And I have
yep.
no idea what it is, but you're very secretive. You've covered it with a shirt. So
I was told that I was supposed to bring a gift.
told.
Yeah, I was
Who
told.
told you that?
No, the host gets the gift, not the guest.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You believe
right.
it should be the other way around, but
Oh.
we'll work on that.
Yeah, this is a bit of a throwback to an
should.
old episode of
The
ours.
first episode.
Yeah, one of it.
It's a
Oh,
the first episode.
okay.
It is a throwback to the first episode.
Oh, I was talking about the
The
gift.
gift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's on another season. The
Yeah.
gift to
Oh.
when you're going to a house
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah,
Your
I think that was
sister
really
gift.
So,
Yeah.
But this
so this is a throwback as
is
well.
to the first episode. Yeah, when you were talking about jigsaw puzzles
Oh.
and more specifically the size of jigsaw puzzles and
Okay.
someone wanting to do a 10,000 piece one. I'm not sure who it was.
Oh, it was definitely
you?
less.
Was it you?
No,
But
it
someone
wasn't.
vetoed it and said that you couldn't have a 10,000 piece jigsaw puzzle.
Oh,
So-
please no.
This is a 9,000 piece Disney jigsaw puzzle.
Oh,
Oh,
my
no.
God. Oh my God. Can I hold it?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Oh man, that is ridiculous.
So
I
it's
have a
9,000
9,000
pieces.
Oh my God. And it's
Where-
Disney. And it's Disney.
I hope you're
And-
okay, but I ordered it a couple of weeks ago and it turned up. I thought it was only going to turn up this week. It turned up a week ago. So I actually did it for a week. It took 5 days, in case you're wondering. So just put 5 days
Just to
aside.
see how long it takes for you to do it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a 9,000 piece Disney puzzle.
Oh, I'm so sad.
The
Thank
picture
you
it's
for
in
the
bottom.
lovely gift.
Thank you.
How much space
I'm
does
pretty
that take
sure
up?
all 9,000 pieces are still there.
I'll come to you if they're not. I don't know. Let me see. Does it say how
On the
big
bottom,
it is?
yep.
Okay, let me
Yeah, it
see.
does on the bottom.
It says that it is 198 centimeters. So
Oh my God, 2 meters
2
long.
meters by 1 meter.
That is ridiculous. That's going to take up. It's going to take up the whole dining room table.
For the next 6 months.
Oh my God.
I've never been more ready to do. I just said the other day, I think it's time I get back into jigsaw
Yeah,
puzzles.
there you go.
I think I remember on that podcast saying you can have one if you could do it in a certain period of time, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was 5 days. No, I don't know.
Well, somebody's done it.
Somebody's
in 5
done it
days,
in
so
5
there you
days.
go. No, I actually tried to find a 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle for you to make up the 10,000.
Okay.
But your condition was that it had to have pumpkins, something to do with pumpkins.
I
and
cannot
I could
remember
not
that.
find a 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle with pumpkins on it.
Thank the Lords.
I looked everywhere.
Oh my God.
yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank
This
you
is
for
the best.
gift.
Thank you so much.
6
I
months
love
from now,
it.
I'll call and say, "Hey, what are you up to?" And you said, "Just doing a jigsaw puzzle."
Just hanging
I'm
out,
on to the
finishing my
third one.
Nick actually started the gifts, and this is the gavel that
Yeah.
was one of the first gifts that Nick
original
brought up.
gift?
The original gift. So, 5 days. 5 days is all you get.
Yeah. Judge has spoken.
Judge has spoken.
I've got some leave coming up.
Yeah. You
So
could be busy.
I actually showed James this afternoon a picture of the next puzzle that I want to get. It's going to be a big ask.
Is it like
considering
24,000
It's
pieces?
42,000.
Oh
Okay,
my
great.
God, that is
And
ridiculous.
I've been
Where would it
watching
fit?
TikToks of somebody that's doing
Yeah.
a 60,000 piece puzzle.
Yeah. Once you're done with it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have
that'd
to
be
hire
great.
some
Yeah.
removalists
No.
to bring
Yeah.
it down in
yeah.
pieces.
Sell it.
Yeah.
Sell
Yeah,
it
bring it down.
to someone
Send it
else.
my
Because
way.
then you say it was $800 or something.
Oh, it's
Let's make
more
your
than
money
that.
back.
It's like 850 and
Yeah, make your
Yeah.
money back.
I don't
Yeah.
think I'd be able to buy
It
it.
doesn't
It'd
have to
be-
come to us.
it'd be a great gift.
100%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it.
No.
But if you
move
want
on.
to buy it for me as like a thank you for joining us on the podcast, I'd love it.
Yeah, I'll do it first. You'll get it when I'm done.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's fine. That's
All
fine.
right, we're closing it off right now. Thank you so much for
7-day
coming.
puzzle, maybe.
Make sure you follow the Instagram, subscribe, like the video. It helps us to show it to other people that maybe not seen the podcast, but I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. And that's Celeste just having her
Just-
piece.
They're just saying goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Thanks for joining us, Nick, and we'll see you next week. I think we've got...
No,
Beck?
I'll
Is it Beck?
I'll
Beck and
see you
Ben.
next
Beck
week.
and Ben.
Beck and Ben.
You're going to see
Oh, sorry,
me.
you weren't talking to me.
yeah.
I thought you were saying you'll
was.
see
Just
me next week. I was
collective
going to say, no,
you.
I'll see you guys next week.
Beck and Ben
Collectively.
next week. All
Okay,
right.
bye,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Bye.
No. Puzzle.
The puzzles.
I'll keep looking for that. I will keep looking.